Okay, welcome along. Welcome along everyone on Facebook. Welcome along everyone on YouTube. So myself, Shane, bringing you through today's chair gym. So everything from a good strong chair today. I'm just going to guide you through a couple of movements. Just trying to connect with parts of the body and just feel as everything will work through every movement twice and just give you a chance to connect and feel and work parts of the body. So just giving everyone a minute to tune in there. Just grab my notes. Okay, just have those nice script there. So first and most important thing we will do is warming up first. So just sitting up nice and tall. Let's begin the session. We'll start with the shoulders, rolling the shoulders back, just generally where I will start. A little bit tight, a little bit stiff around the upper body or the shoulders. So we'll just slowly roll back, getting any movement at all here. And then rolling the shoulders forward in circles. Okay. From that position, I just want to bring the two hands up and just push straight out from your chest, straight in front, just pushing away. Sylvia, afternoon. So just pushing out straight in front. Just kind of a couple of nice movements today. We'll try and keep it nice, not too long on a Friday, just hopefully a nice kind of challenging session and a couple of interesting movements for us. Just relaxing the hands together, rotate to the right and then over to the left, just moving through the upper body. Little stretch as we turn in each direction and just slowly opening everything out. Next, if I just fold the arms in front and just begin lightly raising those arms. So arms just reach to about shoulder height and then I'll lower back down. So just gently raising those arms in front. And then if I pause, keeping the arms folded, rotate to the right again and then rotate to the left. Just nice and light as you rotate in each direction. Okay, I'll just relax those arms down into a rowing motion again, just sitting up nice and tall. Reach out in front and just pull back. So I'm just connecting with the back of the body. So I'm just switching on, connecting with different parts of the body as I warm up. Just reaching in front, pulling back. Just that nice smooth rowing action, pulling low into your stomach here. And then relax, just again, roll those shoulders back. Maybe as you return to the movement, maybe it's a little bit more open now. And then rolling those shoulders forward in circles. Okay, just moving down to the lower limbs next. I'll just begin, just getting the legs moving, lightly tapping the heels out in front. And again, just to get those lower limbs moving, just getting the body warmed up here. Lightly tapping those heels out in front. And then what I want you to do is swap and move into tapping the toes out in front. So just nice and light, tapping your toes, stretching the legs out in front. From this position, just moving into a march, just getting the legs moving. And then again, just lightly tapping the heels out in front. Just moving slightly different angles here. And then again, just lightly stretching the legs out, pointing your toes towards the floor. And returning back to a march, I'm just going to open the position a little bit wider now. tapping the heels out to the sides, just stretching the legs across, just slowly opening up. Working in this same angle and direction, and just now lightly tapping your toes to the floor. Just stretching the legs out and just tapping those toes towards the floor. And then return back to march. Just going to work through those positions once more. And that nice wide angle again. So lightly just stretching the legs out, tapping your heels towards the floor. And then return, and now moving toward tapping the toes towards the floor. Marie, very welcome along, Ballybrack. Great to have you along on YouTube. Just stretching those legs out, tapping toes towards the floor. And back to march once more. Okay, just going to give a little bit more attention into the ankles here, and then we'll get moving and into the main blocks of work here today. So just want to sit comfortable and just elevate the right foot, ankle circles, slowly around in circles, thinking as slow as you can possibly go here, drawing nice big circles with the toes of your foot. Very easy to kind of skim through this movement and go really fast without really getting much movement. But if I slow this right down and get as much movement as I can, nice big circle with the toes of my foot. And then if I reverse, changing direction with those circles, just continuing to draw those nice big circles with the toes of my foot. And down, swap sides, open or raise up that left foot. And again, drawing those nice big circles, so as big as the circle as you can, keeping that movement slow. And that is always the challenge here. It's one thing to just loop it around really quick, but when we really slow the movement down and just open up in terms of movement, reverse, change direction, slowly around in circles, drawing those nice big circles with your toes. And down, okay? So that is our warm-up complete. Let's continue into our first block of work. Just a kind of upper body movement, and we're going to work the calf, back and lower legs. So just to sit up nice and tall for this movement, what I want to do is imagine just grab or reach in front with your right hand, bring the arm back so the elbow pushes back, and I just lightly turn my head with the movement, working through that same position of the right side. Reach, pull back, pushing that elbow back as far as comfortable, and just lightly turning my head with the movement. So just a nice broken down controlled rotation. You're just working through the one side of the body, bringing that elbow back as far as comfortable. And hopefully this is just a nice movement on a Friday, maybe after a couple of workouts during the week. Just a really nice movement here. Pull back, elbow draws back, and just lightly turn your head with the movement. Just going to go another couple of times here. And then once more. Switching over to the left side, raise that left arm, pull back, bringing that elbow back, and just lightly turning with the movement. And anyone who's going to be with a couple of these sessions with myself, now I like to sometimes break movements down, maybe as opposed to moving from one side to the other, we're just giving each side a little bit of attention here, working through the movements. Arm back, push the elbow back far as comfortable, and just lightly turning your head. Let's go another couple of times. And rest. Moving down now. Just pay attention to the angle of your feet. Like they're not really far out and I'm not relaxed. I bring the feet back, nice and central, close to my body, about hip width. What I want you to do then is lift the heels up off the floor. I want to stay in this position for about 3 seconds. So that looks like 3, 2, 1, and then over the course of 3 seconds, return the heels to the floor. So again, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so again, elevate, pause, 3, 2, 1, slowly lower, 3, 2, 1, and just continue on like that. I'm not going to count every time. Just want you to think of holding the position for a couple of seconds and then slowly lowering over the course of a couple of seconds. So sometimes just want you to kind of tune into the movement, get a little bit of feeling, a little bit of connection. Sometimes we can just aimlessly maybe move through positions without getting any kind of a feeling or connection. So just slowing the movement right down, breaking it down like this, you might just get a little bit of connection with the back of those lower legs. So let's continue on. Always, when it comes to working the calf, back of those lower legs, I like to just bump it up a little bit in terms of number of repetitions performed. So we're going to continue on. Maybe another 4 or 5 times here. And again, it doesn't have to be a strict 3 seconds of pausing and lowering, but just think of controlling the movements. You're not rapidly going. We're really trying to slow it down today. I'm just going to go twice more. And then once more. Okay, so I think welcome along Philomena there. Let's move to the next one. Let's check if my eyes got me right. Yeah, Philomena. I'm pretty happy with that I can read that from here. So our next one, reset. Going to go through those movements again. Anything didn't feel good, reset. As I'll always say, if a movement is sore or painful, we just stop the exercise. And if there's anything you need to change in terms of the range, or if there's a side that's sore, make that change. Don't persist if something doesn't feel good. So I sit nice and tall, reach forward that right hand, pull back, and just rotate the body. So that elbow is nice and high as we pull back, and just rotate. So reach forward, pull back, rotate the body. Just a nice small rotation, drawing that elbow back, lightly turning my head with the movement. And I can allow that spare hand just to rest on my leg and just ensure that I stay in a strong position here. So reach forward, pull back. So just bring that elbow back and just lightly turn. Okay, and just hopefully getting a nice connection and just a nice feeling with the movement. Swap sides, work through the left. So again, I want to think of reach, pull back, and rotation, and hopefully just a nice feeling through the upper body. And that's often what I'll say with these sessions. It's not necessarily that we're doing strength work here. We're more looking to just connect with the body, get a feeling, connection. Can I switch on to parts of my body? So we're just going through movement patterns, looking to open up and just get that nice feeling and connection through the body. Reach forward, pull back. Elbow goes back and just rotate. And I'll go once more. And down. Okay, so working back to those calves, back of those lower legs. And what I want to do next, again, just pay attention to the position. Bring them back. Everything's nice and central. Feet hip width. Elevate those heels. 3 seconds. Pause. 2, 1. Slowly lower down. 3, 2, 1. So again, bring the heels up. 3, 2, 1. Slowly down. 3, 2, 1. Continue on. So I'm not going to count every time. It doesn't have to be strictly in that time zone, but I just want you to think of control as you pause at the top and try and control as you lower the heels down. So heels up and then slowly back down, and just continuing on. Okay, we'll go another couple of times here. Again, when it comes to those calves, just going to do plenty of reps. So once you get a feeling, hopefully start to feel back at those lower legs. Just explore this movement. Try it out, see how it feels, connection, and how much control you have with the position here. So we'll just go maybe 3 more times here. And then I'll go twice more. And then we'll go once more. And down, okay? So I'm just going to bring you into the second phase of movement. Henry, how are you? Great to have you with us. Yeah, well, I do have stronger legs than most of the other trainers, just to the administrator there. So let's go into the trunk. So let's sit nice and tall. Okay, what I want to do is hands together. I want you to push the arms out in front and just gently lean the body forward and pull back. Push, lean, pull back. Okay? I'm just going to continue on from this front position. What I want you to think of is not bending your body. So all the time that I lean forward, I'm not bending my back. Just a very controlled lean forward. Core, your upper body is nice and strong as you lean forward. Okay, let's just try this out another couple of times. Push, lean forward, and then a nice, strong, controlled pull back. Let's go twice more. And then we'll go once more. And back in, okay? Keeping those hands together. We went forward. I want to go into slightly diagonal planes here. We're going to alternate from left through to the right. Same kind of setup. Bring your hands together. Your feet important as well here. So if my feet were way out, I want everything nice and central again. Feet to the floor. I want to push slightly diagonal towards the left and just gently push forward. Back in. Return the hands. Rotate. Push to the right. And just gently lean forward. So just work in a nice controlled range. And this will challenge your balance in that seated position. So it's important you're not going to overexert here or push so far that you feel uncomfortable. So just stay in a range where you're okay with, and just kind of explore this movement on the first round here. So as I'll always say, there's no pressure with any movement. We will come back to it a second time. So just gently explore through the ranges. And let's go once more in each direction. And the opposite side. And back in. Okay, rest down. Hopefully that one feels okay. We will go through that again, because sometimes it just takes a little bit of practice. You're just kind of exploring, getting a sense, how does that feel? Is it hard? Is it easy? Is it comfortable? So we will return to that. I'm just going to give you a nice kind of coordination movement again. Might feel really nice around the upper body, and a little bit of challenge to this in terms of the coordination. I mightn't talk as much during this one, just as I kind of focus on the movement. Arms out. I want you to pull one arm back, open the other to the sides. Reset. One arm back, one arm to the side. So I think of this like an arrow pull back. One hand goes directly back to the shoulder. The other arm opens to the sides. One back, one to the side. And just switch and continue to alternate. A little bit of coordination. Practice this one a little bit so I've gotten more comfortable with it. But when I first tried it, first couple of times, a little bit more tricky. And then maybe it looks in terms of the coordination of the movement. One back, one opens to the sides. It's going to go once more between each. And down. Okay, so there are the movements. Going to try those a second time. Again, make any changes if you need to kind of limit the movement a little bit more or just break it down a bit further. It's no problem at all. So reset nice and tall. Hands together. We're going to push the hands forward and just gently lean and then pull back. So my core is nice and strong. I'm not rounding in the position. So again, push, lean, and back. Reset. Push, lean, and then pull back. And we'll just try this one out a couple of times. If I look to my side, I can see my reflection in the mirror. I'm staying nice and straight. I'm not rounding in the position. Just a nice controlled lean and pull back. reset, okay? And just going to keep the hands together as we did the last time, move in the diagonal, left and right. It doesn't have to be precise, but just roughly that you're opening the position a little bit off just that central forward and back. So hands together, nice and tall, out towards the left or diagonally, lean forward, pull back, reset, push out to the right, lean forward, pull back, reset. So we'll just continue on, working between the two positions. Every time, just press the hands in the direction you're moving and just lean forward in that position. But think about keeping your balance in this position, that you don't feel like you're going to come out of the position. Let's go another couple of times. And then once more in each direction. And back in, okay? So that's our second phase, or second block finished. Hopefully those movements felt good or a good challenge and interesting. What I'm going to do next is a little bit on the hips, and then we'll finish up maybe with a little bit in terms of the hands or just some mobility there in the fingers as well. So hip movement. Generally when it comes to the hip, they are more challenging. I'd always say just work through the range, that you don't put too much pressure on yourself. It can feel a little bit tight, stiff, so just work within your own range of comfort when it comes to the hip. So what I want to do is lift my right foot up, and I want to just rest my right hand. I'm just going to think of it like a pendulum. So the only way I can go is side to side, and that's all I want to do here. So you'll see my foot goes inwards, and then my foot slowly opens outwards. As much as I can, just try and keep that knee in a fixed position and think about the rotation and the movement being accessed from the hip. So just lightly swivel between the two positions. Not expecting a huge range of movement here, just a very light rotation or a swivel, or as I say, imagine it's like a pendulum side to side. And as much as you can, that you're not coming out of shape from this position here. That's why I have my hand resting. It just helps me kind of connect and keep the position fixed here as I just swivel side to side. Slow movement. I'm not looking to swing side to side here. I'm just going to keep it nice and slow, nice and controlled. And rest down, okay? Might feel that hip, but afterwards I'll be feeling a little bit better. Might feel a little bit kind of tense. It's not a position you expect a huge range, but hopefully, as I say, afterwards, feel quite good in the position. Opposite side, same setup. Be aware maybe one side is a lot more, there's a lot more movement than the other side. You might notice those differences. Left hand on my knee. So again, I'm just going to keep the position fixed and just lightly swivel from side to side. Okay. Again, I'm not expecting a huge range. And you're going to stay within the range that feels okay to you. So don't try and force it too far. Particularly as maybe you just get used or try this movement for the first time, possibly. Again, just that nice controlled movement between the two positions. And again, as much as I can, that's why the hand is here. I'm thinking about that knee staying in a fixed position, and the leg just swivels between the two positions. And we'll just go once more, open out to the side, the foot, and then back in. Rest down, okay? Just in between, just going to lightly walk it out, just coming out of that position, just taking away some of that tension. We'll try that once more on each side. Just walk it out, okay? Maybe just rock the feet forward and back. Just briefly giving your hips a little bit of a break on that one before we focus in on them again. Okay, so let's reset. We'll try that one more time. Again, main thing is no pressure here. Just work through the range that feels good to you. So, reset. Right foot up. My hand rests on the knee. Even already just in this position, I'm just going to work that bit harder to maintain that position through my core and trunk here. So, we'll just lightly swivel inwards and then slowly open outwards. in, and then slowly outwards. Again, all of that movement control is powered from my hip. And again, the hand is on the knee, and I just lightly move between the two positions. Again, just careful I don't try and swing or push this too far. Just working a nice controlled range, lightly moving the foot from side to side. Just going to go a couple of times. And back. Rest down, swap sides. Bring that left foot up. Left hand rests on the knee. And again, I just want you to lightly swivel. So the foot goes inwards and then slowly opens outwards. So just lightly swivel between the two positions. And again, interesting to see with yourself. Does it maybe feel a little bit open? It does for me this second time. The movement just feels smoother. So amazing. Open. It does for me this second time. The movement just feels smoother. So amazing. This position, how it can suddenly open up a little bit. And maybe, as I say, you might notice a difference from one side to the other. One side may feel much more limited in terms of movement. And these are natural things we expect maybe to see with this one. So we'll just go one more time between the two positions, inwards, slowly outwards, and back down, okay? Again, just after that one, just want to march it out, just lightly get the legs moving. And then just gently rock the feet forward and back. So I might just, we'll move, as we have in the last couple of sessions, just going to do a little bit of work. Just going to get the thumbs moving and then maybe a little bit of movement through the fingers themselves. Okay. Just rock it out and down. Okay, so I might just come in a little bit closer for this one just to make sure we see the movement. I just want you to straighten the arms out. Your hands are up. And what I want to do is just lightly bring the thumbs across the palms of the hand. So each thumb just lightly moving across the palm of the hand. And again, the fingers aren't moving. I'm just thinking about moving the thumb across the palm of the hand on each side. And down, okay? Just going to work through moving the fingers next. Just trying to mix things up a little bit. So I'll just give a slightly different way. We did this before, but I'm going to break it down to moving just the one hand. So if I place my hands together, I'll just turn side. The last time I separated the fingers on each side together, this time I want to work just through the top hand. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, just start lifting the thumb, just on the upper hand. So hopefully you see that. Just lifting the thumb, separating from the other one. And pause. And move to the index finger. So beside the thumb, just simply lifting the top hand, the index finger on the top hand. So you're just going to break this down. Pause. Middle finger, just on the upper hand. Lifting. Pause. I move to the next one. So that's the ring finger. So beside my baby finger, just lifting the ring finger of the top hand. And pause. And then finally, just lift the baby finger. And those fingers underneath aren't moving. They are staying in position. And down. So what I want to do is just swivel, turn around. So now the left hand is the top hand. And I just start lifting the thumb, separating it from the other thumb. So I'm just moving the thumb of the top hand. Then I will pause. I move the index finger of the top hand. Just going to go a couple of times of each. I move to the middle finger of the top left hand. Just lifting. And then swap sides, ring finger. This one gets tricky. Even just a tiny little bit of movement. And then finally the baby finger. And that one really opens up again. And back down. Just a couple of times there. Just relax the position. Take a couple of seconds. we'll work through that again. No problem, Marie. No problem. You too. So what I'm going to do is just those two movements one more time. Arms out in front. Your hands are up. See all those fingers up, and just move the thumb across the palm of each hand. Just nice and smooth. Just lightly bring the thumb across the palm of each hand. The fingers don't move, just the thumb on each side. And just working in a range that's good to you. And rest down. We're just going to bring those two hands together. Turn so that the right hand is on top. And how I'll do it, just moving one side at a time. So only the fingers of the top hand moving. I'll begin just with the thumb lifting up. And then I'll swap. Now I move to the index finger. So just lifting up. A couple of times. I will then move to the middle finger, just lifting up. I will then move to the ring finger. This is where it gets tricky. Just lifting, just a couple of times. And then finally to that baby finger, just lifting. And down. So what I want to do is swap the position now. The left hand is on top and the movement is only through the fingers individually on that top left hand. So beginning with your thumb, just lifting the thumb. We're just thinking movement, mobility through each finger. Pause. Index finger, lift the finger. Swap over to the middle finger. Swap again, ring finger, just lifting the finger up and down. Just separating from the other one. And then finally, ring finger, just lifting up. So the baby finger. And back down. Okay, rest down. So as I mentioned before, just really good in terms of anyone with, particularly today, it is much colder. So if you notice maybe the hands, the fingers, and we know how finicky some things can be, like opening cartons and things like that. So just if you find maybe just struggling a little bit with mobility, maybe with the fingers, movements like that, just think of it like your shoulders, your legs, and the way we want to keep the body moving, working. That's what you're trying to do with some of those. So like I know they can be a little bit challenging, some of them, and tricky. You might find a couple of them fingers are moving together, but it's just when you can practice. And if it's beneficial, we can try it again another couple of times. So what we'll do is we'll just move into a couple of stretches, just relax the bodies down for the weekend. So we'll begin with the lower body. Just want you to straighten the right leg out, hold the position for a couple of seconds. Just keep that leg out straight, nice and relaxed. Hold for a couple of seconds. And then rest back down. Straighten the left leg out, hold the position. A nice stretch here, holding the leg out. Back down. Right leg, open out to the side. Just hold. I feel a little stretch through the inner thigh here. Back in. Left leg, open out. Back in, okay? So again, I'll straighten the right leg. Rest down. Straighten the left leg out. Back down. Open right leg out to the side. And then open the left leg out to the side. And back in. Okay, bringing your two legs out. I want you to point the toes in towards your body. Where those calf, back of those lower legs that we worked. And then relax the toes forward. Pull the toes back. Point the toes forward. One more time. Pull the toes back. Point the toes forward. And rest down. Okay. For this next one, I'm going to straighten up a little bit. Just fold the arms. Rotate your body over to the right, and I want to pause in this position for a couple of seconds. My head is turned with the movement. Return to the center, and then rotate over to the left. Back in. So just spend a couple of seconds in each position. Rotate to the right. Back in. Rotate out to the left. Back in. So again, over to the right. Back in. And then over to the left. Back in. Just going to go twice more in each direction. Just a really nice movement. So you relax everything down. And over to the left. Let's go one more time. Over to the right. And then over to the left. And back down. Okay. Just relax the position. Slowly roll the shoulders back. Just making sure now as we finish up, the body feels nice and relaxed. And just change direction, rolling the shoulders slowly forward in circles. Okay. So I'm going to open those arms to the side and just gently pull back, open out that chest as far as comfortable. And then relax. And just lightly pull those arms back. Open up chest. And then again, once more, just pull back. Open up chest. And relax. Shoulders, I want to lift up to my ears. Just going to hold the position. And then instead of just relaxing down, I want you to think of actively bringing your shoulders. Imagine trying to tuck them into your pockets here. So pulling down towards hips, as opposed to just relaxing in the position. Elevate the shoulders up towards ears. And then actively pull down towards hips. So again, bring those shoulders up towards ears. And then down towards hips. One more time. Up to towards shoulders. And then let's actively pull down towards the hips. And relax. Okay. Just going to finish off since it's Friday. I'll just add one or two head movements. Very simple. Head, neck. We want to go really slow, very cautious with the movement. We're not going to go fast or through really extreme range of movement. So just sitting nice and comfortably. I look over to the right as far as comfortable. And then very slowly, I will just bring my head to look over to the left. Again, just a nice slow transition, moving, looking towards the right. Takes me a couple of seconds to get there. And then slowly looking over to the left again. Return to center. That same action, we're just going to look up and down. That doesn't mean you have to be looking up at the ceiling and staring down at the floor. Again, just work in the ranges that feel good. So look up as far as is comfortable and then look down slowly again as far as is comfortable. So just slowly looking up and then slowly looking down. And then reset. Just a big deep breath. Just relax everything down. And again. Once more. Okay, so that's us finished for today. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed the workouts during the week. We'll be back again tomorrow at 11 with our mobility and stretch, and back again on Monday with our sessions, the 11 a.m. and the 2 o'clock session. So have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in and hopefully you enjoyed that. So well done everyone on Facebook. Well done everyone on YouTube. Hey, you too, Philomena. Thanks very much. Very welcome, Sylvia. No problem. Very welcome, Mary and Marie. No problem. Good to see you again, Mary. Sorry about the other day with the other session cutting out, but hopefully you're keeping well. Great work, everyone.